So today we're answering your questions on how to grow your channel effectively. You want to know how to gain views, how to gain subscribers, how to be effective with your channel growth. Well, stick around to the end of the video because we've got some awesome Q&A questions today. We're going to be answering your questions and I'm really excited about this one. Hey everyone, what is up? My name is 𝗘𝘀𝘆 and on this channel my goal is always to hit my mark and to help you hit your mark on YouTube as well. If you're new here, welcome. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications right now. Okay, so let's just jump straight into the questions. I have kind of learned a lot over time, and I think sometimes people are maybe a little turned off when you spend too long talking at the beginning. So with that being said, we're going to just jump straight into the questions. And these are some great questions today that I've got. And first question is coming from my friend 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗡 Animation. And 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏 asks, what would be the best way for an animation channel to grow? And that is a super loaded question, my friend, because there's a lot that we could talk about. I don't have, obviously, hours in every video to answer a single question, but what I would say, my friend, is the methods that we share with each other, and then the methods that I share on this channel from the start to now have all been designed around different strategies and different ways to grow your channel from a lot of different angles, right? There's so many variables when it comes to YouTube. For you as an animation channel, what works for one animator won't work for another. Or what works for you may not work for somebody else, right? You have your distinct personality, your own distinct artistic style. And animation channels are very interesting because they are a very time-consuming endeavor. I mean, as you know, 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗡, you probably spend many hours making a video that might only be 30 seconds long or a minute long. So it's a really tough one because we're left with the question, well, I'm an animation channel, how do I grow? Well, first of all, you have to have your channel layout designed really nicely so that people are immediately attracted to it, right? So this means having an attractive channel art that you've designed with maybe some of your drawings and your pictures. This means having a great layout on your channel, an effective About Me section. If you're over 1,000 subscribers, your community tab, right? If you're not there yet, you can still use the discussion tab to talk to people, to talk to your subscribers, right? And then playlists. We just talked about this not long ago in another video, which I'll actually link up here in an info card, of how to create effective playlists, right? So thumbnails, tagging, descriptions, titles, these are all things we're going to dive into more and more over time. But quick summary, 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗡, is that you want to have all of those elements in place, but the most important thing is, do people like your animation? Do they like your artistic style? Are they enjoying it? Are they leaving a lot of comments? Are you engaging back with them? Are you asking them what they want to see? Are you, as an animator, pursuing your craft to the point where you're striving to improve on your artistic ability and your skill, right? If you look at a channel like Lucas the Spider, I mean, they only put out a video once in a blue moon. It really is not very often, but because it's so beautifully done, they have millions and millions and millions of subscribers. Every video that comes out, everybody wants to see it because it is such a beautifully done channel. But the amount of time to make a video for Lucas the Spider, I'm sure it is a ridiculous amount of time. And then you look at, well, I'm not on that caliber, right? I'm just doing my own kind of hand drawings and stuff and that sort of thing. Well, that's fine. If you find, like, within your niche, if you find that there's, a crowd of people that enjoy that, keep that consistency up with making your videos because YouTube will find the right people who will enjoy your art style. It will take quite a while, but it definitely is something that can happen. So stick with it, my friend, and don't give up. And I can't elaborate, I guess, a lot more right now because there's just too many questions, but if you want more help offline, Invasion, reach out to me with my email contact, and I'd be happy to talk to you there, my friend. The next question comes from my friend, Watercolor Mentor. And Watercolor asks, "Hey Tim, thanks for the videos. I've watched a few now and subbed. Really useful information. Would you have any advice for someone like myself who has just started a YouTube channel?" And absolutely, my friend. I think one of the main things when you're just starting out is to remember not to be hard on yourself, okay? You have a lot of stuff to learn. I actually have a video that I'll link up here in an info card for you as well. It was called Advice to a New YouTuber. It was one of my early videos. I think it was about my 10th or 12th video or something. And it was just me kind of sharing my advice to new YouTubers because I was so new at that point. For me, I found what worked was staying positive, staying upbeat, really focusing on, you know, crafting videos that I felt were the best I could do at the time, right? So as a new YouTuber, you know, the best gear and camera and everything is what you've got. So don't feel like you have to rush out to get the big camera, computer, lighting, tripods, all the fun knickknacks and gadgets, right? I mean, for a long time, I simply just used right over here my green screen. I was using that to film, and I dropped in a background on every video, right? And I didn't have lighting, and I had a little Canon point and shoot camera that I've still got, but I didn't have any of the fancy stuff at all. I just made my videos and I stayed upbeat, I stayed positive, I stayed consistent until I disappeared for a while. Whole other story. But the point is that as a new YouTuber, you're learning editing, you're learning lighting, you're learning composition, you're learning content, you're maybe learning how to be confident because maybe you haven't been on camera before, right? So you're gonna go back after 10, 20, 30, 50 videos, 100 videos, and you're gonna look at your earlier content and you're gonna be like, man, it's bad. And because that's what I go through, and I'm sure every content creator goes through that. The reason it's important, and a tip I give you, is to leave your videos up, because don't ever take them away, because it shows you where you were at and it shows you how far you've come in the process. So it's an exciting thing to go back after 30 or 40 or 50 videos and be like, wow, I can see a lot of improvement in my delivery, in the way I am, in my confidence, in, you know, and what people are telling me. So as a new YouTuber, my friend, don't give up, even when you get discouraged, even when you're feeling a bit down about things, and that will happen. Especially if you get negative comments, if you get trolls and haters. One thing I'd tell you as well as a new YouTuber, I remember when I hit about 200-300 subscribers, all of a sudden I started getting a few kind of rude comments from people. I had a dude tell me that my content was trash, and and it hurts, but at the same time, that troll is looking to get a reaction from you. So as someone who's gone through this, don't feed them. Don't ever feed the trolls, because if you take the stance that you're not going to care what they say, and you could even reply back to them with a really hilarious comment to show their stupidity, and it's amazing how effective it is and how much they will just go away because they know that they can't get under your skin. So those are just some tips I give you as a new YouTuber, my friend. And if you need more information, more advice, more counsel, go back through my YouTube tutorials, and when you have questions along the way, leave questions. I'll keep using them for these Q&As. I will answer you online as well, and I'm really happy to do that, because this channel is all about you guys, and it's all about channel growth for the small YouTuber, right? And YouTube is really difficult. So as a small YouTuber, we need all the advice and all the support that we can possibly get. So be excited, my friend, and thank you so much for the question. I really appreciate that today. The next question is coming to us from my pal, 𝗚𝗿𝗶𝗴𝗴. I love your name, man. And you say, how do I grow without a specific niche? I'm more of an entertainer and follow a fictional narrative. And this is a really good question, 𝗚𝗿𝗴𝗴. I took a look at your channel, and you definitely have a very unique channel. One thing that I'm going to tell you, without a specific niche, it's going to be really difficult to grow. And especially for you with the type of content you're doing, because it's a little bit pushing the boundaries, a little bit, you know, it almost kind of reminded me of when Borat came out, right? I was thinking like, oh, this is like kind of like Borat, almost like it's meant to be shock, it's meant to be a little offensive, but it's meant to be done in a funny way. The only thing I would caution you with, my friend, is without a specific niche, and I wouldn't say you don't have a niche, because I think you are a comedy entertainer, like a Borat, like that style, but the only thing I would caution you on, my friend, is be careful with the topics you're touching on, because you're dealing with a lot of sensitive material, especially around things like the LGBT movement, and you could potentially hurt people's feelings or offend people by making fun of those things, right? And you don't want to bring down the wrath of the internet on yourself, on your channel, because I've seen channels that have brought, you know, because they've done something, like the haters and trolls flood it and the channel is destroyed. So be very mindful of that. Be very sensitive, because everybody deserves respect and kindness. Everybody deserves to have their opinions heard. And you do too, for sure. But, you know, I'd veer away, if it was personally me trying to do comedy in that sort of vein, I would veer away from stuff that could be misconstrued, stuff that could be deemed hurtful or hateful towards others, because YouTube shouldn't be the space for that, right? We should be able to express ourselves, but not if it is done in a hateful fashion. So thank you for the question, my friend. I really do appreciate you taking the time. If you have any other questions in the future, let me know, and I'm happy to answer those questions too. The next question comes from my pal Spunky Boy, and Spunky, I love your name too, man. And you ask, what are some tips and tactics to get your videos discovered in the YouTube search? And also, how long would you say your intro should be for your YouTube videos? Or would you recommend it for someone who's just starting out, or in general? Awesome questions, Spunky. And as far as the first part of your question goes, YouTube search, getting your videos into YouTube search, it's funny because I remember when I started, the bulk of my views came from, typically from channel pages, which was people finding me, comments, using the commenting method, and then also from just kind of general traffic from other sites and stuff. My actual YouTube search results were really quite pathetic. But it stands to reason. When you're a new channel just starting out, you're not going to have a massive amount of traffic or people finding you from search, because you've just started. YouTube's learning who you are and what you're all about. And you also are competing against channels that are already established for many years. So it's tricky to get yourself in the search. But here's the beautiful thing, my friend. What I've noticed now, as I go into my analytics and look at all my videos now that my channel is about 1.5 years old, yes, I was gone for a while, but the channel itself is still 1.5 years old. I've had videos up for that long. And what I've noticed is this amazing switch is taking place now. YouTube is now starting to promote my videos a lot more than it did in the past, especially now that I'm back and posting twice per week and being consistent again. I've noticed a huge uptick. And what I'm noticing with my views is couple months ago even, it was kind of like here, and I had my little spike days on my release. and then I was dipping down low in the in-between days. And now what I'm noticing, especially it started about 3 weeks ago, is my trend is climbing up very quickly. So what's happening is more people are finding me in search, more people are finding me from other avenues, and more people are finding me from homepage recommendations, which means that YouTube is now starting to promote me in a much more effective way. But to get into the search, you have to have all the elements in place, my friend. You have to have the great channel layout. You have to have, you know, that hook that pulls people in and keeps them watching. But you also have to make it exciting for the person to want to watch it. And that means having an awesome title and an awesome thumbnail. Those are the two most important things to get people to watch your video in the first place. You can have a great title and the thumbnail can look awful and people are going to be not interested. You can have an awesome looking thumbnail and put, you know, a really bad title. You'll probably get more clicks, but when people go in, they're going to be, you know, they might not be interested. Maybe it's not related. But if you nail the title and the thumbnail at the same time, you create this kind of almost eye candy experience where people are like, I have to watch that. What's that about? And the master of this is Mr. Beast. I mean, he can just sometimes put like a very distinct title and you just see the photo. There's no text in it. It's just a photo and you're like, I gotta see this. I need to know what this is about. So to get yourself into search, there's a lot of things you can do, including nailing all these elements, the titles, your SEO, like all these things are very important. Your keywords and your tagging is very important as well, especially as a small YouTuber. You can't skip tagging and keywords. But the one thing that I will say is that time is one of the most effective tools as well, because I haven't necessarily gone back and redone anything with those videos, but what's happened is now my channel is much more established. I have a lot more content. Now I'm at almost 60 videos. And what happens is YouTube is now starting to promote me a lot more. So I've seen my search results. This is fascinating. I've seen my search results go from what used to be maybe 3 or 5% on old videos to now I'm getting results like 40, 50, 70, 80% of my traffic coming from YouTube search on a lot of my older content. And typically you'll find that when you're just starting or you've just launched your new video, you'll typically find that YouTube search will be lower and your other stuff will be higher. And then over time, what happens is it does this flip. And that's an exciting thing because that means people are finding you in the search and your thumbnail's good. If your click-through is quite decent, that means that people are finding you. More info about click-throughs in upcoming videos. We're going to take a really deep dive and close look at click-through rates and what, you know, is bad, average, good, and excellent. And we're going to talk all about that as well. And another question from my pal Peter here. And Peter, thanks for joining our Make Your Mark Facebook group. If you guys haven't joined that yet, feel free to come over to Facebook and join our Make Your Mark group there. We're growing slowly but steadily there, and we've got awesome people in there with lots of great comments and ideas, and it's a really exciting thing to be part of that. And Peter asks, question for you, Tim. If you plug your videos on social media, will you hurt your ranking in the algorithm? And that's a great question too, Peter, because some people think that, you know, oh, well, if I'm not getting views from right within YouTube, that must hurt or whatever. But I've actually personally found quite the opposite. I have found that I get quite a bit of traffic at times coming in from Facebook, coming in from Twitter and, you know, Instagram and other stuff like that. You can get quite a bit of traffic. And the thing is with YouTube, the key to remember is YouTube wants you bringing people onto the platform. Okay, and if they come on and you keep them there, they're very happy with you. If you create lots of links and opportunities to take people away from YouTube, YouTube is not happy about that because they don't want people leaving the platform. So it's a great question, Peter. Personally, I've never found any negative effects from having traffic come to my videos from external sources. I think actually it's the opposite. I've found it actually can help boost your views, your watch time. It can help boost those metrics, and YouTube will reward you for that if you're staying consistent and bringing people on. So awesome questions today, everybody. Thank you so much for asking. If you want to know more about YouTube and how to grow, how to gain subscribers, how to use effective strategies, then watch the playlist over here or watch the video linked up over here, and you're going to start to see amazing results as you implement all these things yourselves. So thank you so much for watching today, and I will see all of you in the next video.